welcome. As you can see, it's only two of us here. This is not a Friday. This is not after a premium live event. It is Wednesday night is Overbooked. I am your host, Joker Voice, joined by the wonderful, the talented, the horribly bad takes, although I don't think we may have as many this week because there's no Jey Uso news to talk about. It is the one and only LeftEyeEgo. Ego, how are you, sir?
Doing good, man. Was working on the Pacific Northwest from Sunday to about Friday at midnight. It was exhausting. I'm glad I'm home, but very scenic. Very scenic.
I'll bet. And we do have some folks in the chat already, as we got a couple friends here. We got Mr. Roman of the Empire. Ahoy, friends! And I will be on with Roman of the Empire tomorrow night. And also our wrench of wrenches, Mr. Jacob Ironside, monitoring the chat. Also, just a little housekeeping here first. Last week, we actually post-show got that double-digit likes. So for last week's show, folks, we need to talk to Momo. And we all love Momo here. And the way we talk to Momo is if we get double-digit likes from the chat. So go down, just hit that thumbs up button. It costs you nothing. Of course, if you look down in the description, you've got my social medias, Ego's social medias, everyone who's a part of Wednesday Night is Overbooked. We all have YouTube channels as well. We would love your eyes to look at our content. We would love your subscriptions. We would love your likes. So if you don't mind, folks,
I'd say you better subscribe or we'll bash in some skulls, right?
And there is also a link there's also a link in the chat. Our good friend Matt is having some medical issues, and there is a GoFundMe there. If you can, please give anything you can. Every little bit helps. So what do you say, Ego? You want to get this show started here?
Hell yeah, dude. Let's do it, man.
All right. So first question. Is TKO clueless?
That's a very good question, sir. Why would you say that?
Well, sir, I'm glad you asked. Because TKO president Mark Shapiro said this the other day on the main event with Andrew Marchand. This is from the Wrestle Purist, where it says, TKO president Mark Shapiro says WWE needs to take the torch and move past premium live events created by Vince McMahon. Okay. He says they never seem exhausted. They're ready to take on a new shot, a new risk, a new opportunity. Hey, Nick, let's talk about launching a new event. Right now, a lot of our PLEs were created by Vince McMahon. We need to get in the business of taking the torch and moving past that. And Nick Khan and Triple H created WrestlePalooza, which is the launch event for our new ESPN deal, which did incredibly well. I don't know what the metric you're using, and may turn into a super franchise. Not to mention, from a merch standpoint, I don't need to tell you, securing the IP rights and then selling merch at WrestlePalooza, let's just say it was a real winner. End quote. Wow.
That's a lot. That's quite a bit.
So, Mark Shapiro, for saying, WrestlePalooza was a real winner.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
No, it was not a real winner. Not at all. Hey, Eric, how are you, sir? Glad you're here. Now, Ego, when you hear all this, what are your initial thoughts?
Ooh, I've got initial thoughts and I've got deep think thoughts, if that makes sense, or as in the form of research. But
let's
initial
go with-
thoughts.
Yes, initial thoughts.
Initial thoughts is that's dumb. Just
Ego,
that's
just
dumb.
for that. He goes.
All right.
Also glad that Brad is not here because Ego then climbs the mic drop list.
That is very true. Actually, I'm making out like a bandit. Hopefully tonight.
Go on. So that's your initial thought. What is your deep think thought?
All right, so I'm going to share something with you guys between Joker and me. That's not personal, but something happened backstage, right? So with JV set up with Wednesday Nights Overbooked, we actually wind up sharing some of the abilities of StreamYard, which means, hey, if he needs me to bring up a clip, I can do that. If he needs me to bring up a story, I can do that too. And so I'm looking around. I'm like, well, hey, JV, I can do this and I can do that. And JV said 4 words. Hands off the toys. Why do I say that? You're about to figure this out. From 1993 to 2005, when Mark Shapiro first graduated, he works at ESPN as an executive producer for Playmakers and Sports Century. Shows are already set up. From 2005 to 2010, he worked for Six Flags as the president and CEO, where the revenue fluctuated wildly and they filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy a month before he left, April 2010. At 2010, he was the executive for Dick Clark Productions, something that was already established. From 2016 to the current president, he was the advisor, wound up being the chief content officer for WME and IMG merger, which became Endeavor, which became TKO. He's also co-owner of the LA MLS FC Club. He's Papa John's board member. He was also part of the Live Nation board member, but had to resign due to allegations of antitrust. So, guys, this is someone that is in something that has already been set up and likes to have his hands on the toys. And the actual results kind of fluctuate wildly. None as successful as WME IMG merger, and he wasn't even really a part of that. He was an advisor. So this is someone with zero loyalty, hops from one thing to the next, and likes to put his hands on the toys with some disastrous and mediocre results. This is a person you do not want changing anything about anything when he comes into your place of business. So the reason that he says that is because that's the way he's always been. I want to be in it and try to change it. And at the end of it, nothing really changes. The brand gets bigger, but it doesn't necessarily the extra exposure that Shapiro provides. So this is a dumb take, but again, given his track record, this is what he does. He will be on to the next thing by 2030 at best.
Okay. Now, when it's clearly, at least from what I see, from what TKO is, WWE is a wrestling company. They can say, we're entertainment. You're a wrestling company. TKO is entertainment. They also own the through Endeavor. They own the Paradigm Talent Agency. So they're very deep into the Hollywood social media, all that mix there. They don't understand wrestling. Now, when the initial fear is, are they going to get rid of the Royal Rumble? Are they going to, or like rename it, or WrestleMania? I don't think that your tentpole premium live events that have such brand recognition, I don't think we're going to touch those.
Absolutely not. No.
But something like Backlash, okay, you could rename that, I guess. But WrestlePalooza, saying, "Oh, we created this." No, you didn't. That was an ECW pay-per-view that was created by Paul Heyman, who stole the name from an episode of The Simpsons.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's nothing you created is actually new. You're just renaming stuff and then saying you have it. Like, you're Christopher Columbusing everything. At a certain point, people aren't going to be cool with that.
So TKO also owns UFC, so they do know a little bit. Well, that's because they kind of let Dana White do his own thing.
Right. There's no like you haven't heard anything different from UFC since the merger. Like there's been no UFC International that they didn't already have. Like they were already
Right.
going into different countries and continents. They already had women that were in the sport. Like nothing has really changed. You can understand how it works. It's just that there's nothing new that you can really create in something that's kind of squared off. Like this is what it is. Like it's in
Right.
this lane and that's it.
And UFC now is the much bigger brand.
Right. Like exactly.
Dempsey, what's up, sir? I think we all also have Kai in the studio. I think we also have Kai in the mix.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Kai.
Dude.
Make sure you all hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you all check down in the description for our channels. And if you don't mind,
I'd say you better subscribe or we'll bash in some skulls, right?
Sorry,
Thank you,
not
Harley.
to get off
Thank you,
topic, but Douglas actually asked this question. I missed it.
Okay. Do you think we can get Cena doing a Wade Barrett OMG because we know Wade can't wrestle anymore? Okay, I'll bring some of that up maybe a little late.
Cool.
Later.
All right.
But so this is just what TKO does. TKO doesn't understand wrestling, pro wrestling. And part of this, and part of the big, I guess, part of the enjoyment is it are these brands that that people have grown up with. Like if all of a sudden you're going to change WrestleMania, change the name of it, why? Why?
Exactly.
I mean, that's gone on for now almost 42 years. You've got Survivor Series. I mean, you probably won't change the name, but the way, but maybe move away from the Warrior Games for a couple of years. Okay, fine. I'm fine with that. Survivor Series went from the elimination matches to brand versus brand to War Games now. So it's been a constant state of flux. The Rumble, keep that as it is. The Chamber, fine. I don't think you'll ever change the name Crown Jewel because the Saudis like that name.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Hey, Jojo.
Seven JoJo.
Dude, I'm done with the Christopher Columbus thing. I don't blame you. Don't blame you at all.
And I guess it was he didn't own Six Flags. He was like part of like the CEO of it when he was a part of a CEO group that was owned by Daniel Snyder, the former owner of the Washington Commanders. And so he instructed him to buy Six Flags through that company. And then he wound up becoming like the president of it. But I mean, the profits swing wildly and they wound up going bankrupt like in April 2010. So it's kind of a wash.
Wow. So basically what you're saying is Mark Shapiro, you may get a big boom initially, but in the end, he is going to leave it worse than he found it.
More or less. I mean, the thing is like his whole track record isn't anything that he created. Like he was a part of like, I think of the Guggenheim group, but they like have assets of $330 billion. And he's just like a part of the group. So that's been around since 1999. Like nothing he has done or been a part of has ever been really original. And all they do is acquire things. So for someone that just acquires things, this like honestly, he could be the WWE version of Tony Khan. If you think about it, like all these businesses and moves are like his toys. And the one thing you don't want to try to flex or play with is the WWE. It's like a rigid action figure that's kind of like a figurine. Like you don't check the joints on a figurine because it's fixed. You do that, you're going to break it.
Let's see. We got, it looks like Eric, Jamie Hayter suffered another injury. Okay. Yeah. I'm not shocked. It was the blood and guts match, which is the AEW equivalent to War Games. It's the same. Yeah. So this month we're getting 4 War Games matches this month. 2 of them Two of them are tonight on AEW Dynamite, and we will get into the Warrior Games thing.
Okay.
So we'll get to that. So speaking, as I said, the WrestlePalooza was a winner. No, it was not. You know what else has not been a winner? Ego?
What?
Smackdown. Because Smackdown sucks right now. Absolutely. And what we saw this past Friday, I was listening to Solid Monster and JD from New York, and the word that they came up with, disgraceful.
Yeah.
Now, we complain, or we will criticize AEW for just having matches, not a lot of story, just matches for match sake. Well, right now, the best part on SmackDown is the United States Open Challenge with Ilya as the champion. But what is that? It's a match for match sake. There's no story.
Agreed.
So right now, the best thing on your worst show is what we complain that the competition does. And again, there are no stories being told on SmackDown. Absolutely none. I mean, if I absolutely, yes. So I'm just going to go into a couple things. So, Ego, do you know who the MFTs are?
No, that sounds like a crypto bro scam.
The MFTs.
Okay.
Solo Sikoa's new Timu bloodline with
okay.
with JC Mateo, formerly known as Jeff Cobb, formerly known as Monster de Matanza from Lucha Underground, the Gorillas of Destiny, Tamatanga, Tangaloa, and now their brother, now called Talatanga, used to be called Hikuleo, and they all have war paint on now. Weird white-faced, black war painted. I think with Tamatongas, I think he's a fan of the Star Wars the Knights of the Old Republic game, because his makeup looks exactly like Darth Nihilus.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay.
So I'm guessing. But who are they?
Right.
Okay, they're supposed to be, we're intimidating. Okay. You're in a kind of a feud with the Wyatt Six, or as of right now, the Wyatt Sucks, because they're just, I mean, Bo has off his dad has had some the medical issues, so I can that's a little understandable. But right now, on this past SmackDown, storyline suspended Drew McIntyre.
Okay.
So right now, there's no Randy Orton on TV.
Okay, Randy Orton.
Jacob Fatu is out with an injury.
Okay.
Drew McIntyre suspended. So for the next few weeks or a month, who's there for Cody to challenge? Who's there to challenge Cody at the time?
Oh, so that okay. But I guess that makes sense. If there's no one else to challenge him, he'd be back on Raw. Okay.
Well, and we'll get into that. And this kind of makes sense as to why Cody is on that War Games team now, because there's nothing for him to do on SmackDown. Now, I did say I was watching Raw because also previous week when Jade came out and did her promo, her first promo as the women's WWE champion.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
And her promo was, you saw what happened on Saturday night's main event. That's what's going to happen to everyone else because I'm that bitch. Mic drop and left.
That's it?
That's it. So we're back to AEW, Jade Cargill. Because that worked out well.
And that's good God.
Oh. And we have the Jersey Butchering Baconator joining us here. Matt, how are you, sir?
Doing as well as can be expected in Anus of America, known as New Jersey. Health is doing okay, guys.
Good.
Yep.
Nice, man.
And then we dropped your link for your GoFundMe.
Oh, thank you, guys. And thank you for anyone who still supports me. It's an ongoing medical odyssey and an update on the GoFundMe.
So right now we are talking about SmackDown. Now I'll do a quick review because we said that right now the best thing on SmackDown is the United States Open Challenge, but it's also going to be the worst thing right now because, as you have said, and I agree, that right now it's just a match for a match sake. There's no story there.
Yeah.
There's nothing. It was used to get Ilya over with the crowd because he had just come back. He has had 3 banger matches 3 weeks in a row. Mission accomplished. You got him over. Now you need to start telling stories.
Yep. And so here's the thing. With these open challenge types, like remember that belt, the hardcore belt that was like an open challenge all the time or whatever?
24/7, right.
Yeah.
It was also the 24/7 belt, right.
Yeah. If you have like all the other belts and all the mid card involved in good storylines, and this open championship is the exception to the rule, it's great. Open challenge, right? But when every single thing is someone walking out there and open challenging and getting a title shot for anything, that AEW is horrible for that. WWE is bad for that. The best, the almost opposite of that is TNA. There are very few open challenges allowed,
Right.
Right. And you'll see like their storyline GM walk out and say, no, you haven't earned a title shot yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
Quite a bit. And I don't know what Triple H is thinking, turning WWE, which used to have good storylines. Even under Vince, they had some good storylines. And now it's just like it's just like I mean, can 75-year-old Ric Flair walk out open challenge for a title now? Is that the way it works?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to rant about it, but like, you know what I mean? It's wrestling. The thrill of wrestling is when you get a great storyline, and then the matches come. You have your great vignettes. Maybe you have your supermarket
There's
brawl.
no vignettes anymore. No vignettes anymore.
Yeah. And then you get to that ring and they tell a story in the ring, maybe through a couple of matches, and that's the thrill of wrestling. And we're not getting that. We're just getting like fake UFC.
Okay. So let me expound on this. So, and right now, and yes, SmackDown is riddled with injuries.
Yeah.
Right now, but you're professional wrestlers. You've been in this business, a lot of you, for decades. You also have a creative writing team. You should be expecting and have a what, Matt, at the ready?
Always have a plan B.
Always have a plan B. So, because as of right now, the storyline suspended Drew McIntyre. So right now, with no Drew McIntyre, Randy's not on TV.
Yeah.
Jacob's out with injury. Who was there for who's there to work with Cody? Now, they had a good match with Aleister Black, but Aleister Black is not a main event guy yet.
But okay, here's another point about that. You have a good point about that. So why is he having a match with Aleister Black and not a storyline? You know what I mean? Like that's why you want to have a viable mid card. So Cody can go and have mini storylines for a couple of weeks, like putting the younger guy over, but winning and having that mini, like that mini. Remember John Cena when Kevin Owens came up?
Oh yeah,
Vince wanted to squash him, but Cena turned that into a great 3 or 4 month storyline. Like that's the type of thing your champions should be doing with the mid card. That's why you got to have a viable mid card. And you got to have good storytelling. And, well, I'm not going to do the rant again. You guys heard it. So
right. Now, my rant here is where I'm going to go off here. The women's division on SmackDown is awful. Mm-hmm. Absolutely awful. Now, we talked about Jade, and she came out and did an 8-second promo. And her first match, which will be this week to defend her titles, against B-Fab. I'm sorry, what?
Who? What?
Exactly.
Is that like another Mishin who we don't care about?
Yes. Now, there was a little stare down between Charlotte and Jade on last SmackDown, which made sense as to why they broke up the tag team champions now, Alexa and Charlotte, because there's nobody credible as a single right now to challenge Jade. There's nobody. Absolutely nobody. And what they did with their mid-card title, oh my God. Now we talked about Ilya. But the Women's United States Championship. There was a match for the title last SmackDown. Julia and Chelsea Green. Now, Chelsea Green has been working a lot with Ethan Page from NXT, who is the North American Championship. They recently went down to Ego. That is a lovely mug you got.
Quite. It's awesome. It's fantastic. For cold and hot beverages, guys, you should try it. When allergies are kicking your ass, Overbook is there for you, especially in the mug. Please get it from JV's website.
And maybe if you can, or one of my the wrenches, drop that link in the chat for the merch store as well.
By the way, just for those who are watching AEW tonight, is Blood and Guts.
Right. So as I mentioned, they have their War Games matches tonight, and then in about 2.5 weeks, we're getting WWE's War Games matches. Yeah. So the month of November, 4 War Games matches. So back to Chelsea and Ethan, they went to AAA down in Mexico, and they won the mixed tag team championship. So now Ethan's walking around with 2 belts. So WWE is like, okay, well, this storyline's actually doing some traction here. Chelsea needs to have 2 belts. So what did they do? They had a championship match, Julia and Chelsea Green, for the Women's United States Championship, and they buried Julia. 90 seconds.
Is she injured?
No.
Did she piss someone off?
I have no idea, but that is a burial. Absolute burial.
She had to have pissed someone off if she's not injured.
Because that match length, and I was talking with Ego prior to the show, that's Divas era match length.
Well, that's you pissed off Vince and are getting squashed for no apparent reason level. You know what I mean?
Right, but this was not a squash match. I mean, they would exchange some offense, but Chelsea cheated. She had her foot, she had her feet on the ropes. So some folks say, "Oh no, they protected Julia." That's your champion, and she dropped the title in 90 seconds. She got buried, absolutely buried. Now, if you watched Julia from NXT, what she is now, it's a different person. If you've watched any of her matches from Stardom, she's a different person right now on the main roster.
Mm-hmm.
She has been completely nerfed, and you tried to pair her with Kiana James as a mouthpiece. She speaks English just fine. She actually speaks English probably the best of the Joshis on the main roster.
Fair point.
But right now, and then some folks say, "Oh, well, now she's free to go to the main event scene on SmackDown." You can't. She's done on SmackDown. She's done.
Yeah.
She is now damaged goods on SmackDown.
Yeah.
I will say this not to take away from, but do you know how bad it has to be for the New York Post to get involved with this?
Really?
Like, oh yeah, they just put that out today. Like the New York Post, of all people, is criticizing you for about like, hell, Julia got nerfed, and this was a lackluster booking for her title reign. Like, what are you gonna? And honestly, it's great. You're saying, hey, what y'all do next with her is a referendum because you're stuck now. And so the New York Post is calling y'all out. I mean, you really kind of messed up.
I can't speak with the tiny on my phone, but who wrote that article?
Joseph Staszewski.
Okay, I know.
Okay, cool.
So I understand why they put Julia on SmackDown and why they put Stephanie on Raw. These are the two top NXT girls. Let's have one on each show, star power, blah, blah, blah. Well, clearly, they had a plan for Stephanie, had no plan for Julia at all.
Yeah. May I interject and say, I don't think they have a plan for 60% of their wrestlers.
That's possible as well.
True.
And this is
something... You know, I hate saying this, okay? But Vince had a plan for every single person in his employ. Like people said that. He was like on top of everything. Even if what he did sucked, like the storyline sucked or whatever, he like every single person, like he'd be like, why are you standing there? You should be standing over there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he knew
micromanaged, right.
Yeah.
He was
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
Now I actually again with SmackDown, again, because I've spent a lot of time this week talking about the Joshis, and the women that they get from Marigold now, used to be Stardom, are some of the best talent in the world. I mean, Matt will agree with that.
Oh hell yeah, Stardom will be like if WWE is like Major League, Stardom is between AA and AAA level, right? Like kind of like the Japanese baseball league, you know.
So, as of right now, and I was watching JD and Solomon Monster last night, and they were just asking a general question: how can you rehab Julia? So I kind of threw this little question out there because right now she can't be on SmackDown. She's done on SmackDown. One option, send her back down to NXT, which is not always a good thing because sometimes your career goes to die there. Or I pitched this idea. You send her to Raw. You bring up two more girls from NXT to put on SmackDown to take her spot. Fine. Mid-card, build it up, something, a Jordan Grace, a JC James, Sol Ruka, Jada, something. You send Julia to Raw, and you pair her up with the Kabuki Warriors. Now she's aligned with Asuka. Asuka is a standard bearer. Asuka is a standard of excellence. If you want to get Julia over, she has to be, as of right now, because she's damaged, She has to be with somebody credible. Now Asuka and Kyrie are the tag team champions. You can do the free bird rule. If that, Matt, your thoughts on anything that they could do to rehab Julia?
So here's the thing. First, they have to resolve behind the scenes why they did the 90-second match. Did she piss someone off? Was it a family emergency? Was it the injury? Whatever that was, she needs to get back into good understanding. They're not going to make her do 90-second losses, So that has to be resolved. Within that context, here's what I would do, okay? I would have a behind-the-scenes vignette where she's walking around. She has to, she loses another match badly, like 2 minutes or whatever, and she gets a frustrating series of losses. Then one day, when she's walking around screaming like going crazy, she walks by and there's the Undertaker, and he says to her, "I'm taking you to boot camp." Do a series of vignettes with Undertaker training her, a storyline, build it up type of thing, and then have her come back. And that's kind of what I would do,
Okay.
Or it even could be someone besides the Undertaker to have a legend train her, to get her, how Rocky 3, how Rocky lost it, and they had to bring in Apollo Creed to train him. Remember that was a great movie.
We know.
That's the storyline I would do to fix her, because just lumping her in with the Kabuki Warriors and all seems like lost in the crowd to me,
Okay, Ego, your thoughts?
I like it. I mean, it kind of sucks that you're being punished.
Well,
for losing.
I know.
I mean, okay. I would say without any other information, it seems like you'd be getting punished for losing in 90 seconds, which is the way they set it up. Now you have to switch to a different brand, or even go to NXT at worst to go back up and bring in other people when you're just finding your own and you're a Joshi. But I agree that you're gonna have to put her in the Kabuki Warriors, which sucks because now she's got to be a part of a faction instead of being a singles performer, which she's really good at. It just sucks all around. But yeah, she's going to be a part of some faction. Kabuki Warriors would probably be the best
because she needs to rehab.
Man.
Because right now it is not looking good for her.
That sucks. Absolutely sucks.
Now we mentioned AEW having their version of War Games matches. Speaking of,
that's going on right now, by the way.
Right, I know.
Literally, right now it started.
I know. I get updates.
Okay.
And all that stuff.
Oh, by the way, Ricky Steamboat was at the AEW's show tonight. So if you want to,
okay.
Oh, nice.
So, Survivor Series War Games. Up until this past Monday on Raw, we haven't got anything definitive. There's been teases, little hints here and there, dropping little breadcrumbs. We're finally just getting some stuff in play. Like last week when the Bronze and we're talking with Punk and Logan Paul, and we thought Logan Paul, for some reason, they tried to pull a swerve and say, "Oh, Logan Paul is going to side with CM Punk." No, stop it. That's never happening. Now we get confirmed Logan Paul is aligning with Paul Heyman and the Bronze. He's not part of the division. I don't want him to be part of the division. Who's ever going to join that group to make it larger needs to be on TV full time. Just my thought on that.
Okay. All right.
So we had the Bronze, we had Logan Paul, Punk's all alone. All of a sudden, thank God they actually didn't play his music because he would have to come up from the crowd and get winded by the time he got to the ring because Jey Uso showed up. And was refreshed because he wasn't yeeting. Thank God. You're right there. Ego.
I'll live.
Okay, good. And then it's a 3-on-2. Out comes Cody Rhodes. So Cody Rhodes was at Raw. It was in Boston. It was John Cena's last appearance in Boston, and we'll talk about that in just a bit. So we've got War Games is generally 5-on-5. Punk, Cody, Jay were backstage talking with Adam Pearce. Punk calls over William Regal, and Regal just says, War Games. So now we know we've got at least 3-on-3. So the match is going to start to take place. Next week's in Madison Square Garden. I think this is where Roman shows. I think this is where Roman decides to come back to work and show up, and so you'll get Roman, maybe Brock Lesnar, and so now you need that fifth person. I think the kayfabe suspension might end, but at some point, and you'll add Drew McIntyre, because that will explain why Cody is on the one side. And then with Brock Lesnar, add John Cena to the War Games match.
Yeah.
Thoughts, Matt?
I was muted. The problem with War Games / Survivor Series is they don't have, like, again, when they don't do storylines, so there's no organic bleed into it. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Now, I get that, and that was also talked about it as JD from New York was basically saying the same thing. It's a bunch of individuals, and there's no big collective story, and Solomon just said, well, even the old Survivor Series elimination matches, there was individuals, it was usually the captains that had beef, and they would pick some folks who had beef with other people. So there was very few times where it was a collective 4 versus a collective 4.
The thing he's not mentioning, though, is everyone was involved in storylines back then, so there was always ongoing storylines you could get people together for these things for. You know what I mean?
I get it. I'm just stating that there was it wasn't always one collective group versus one collective group.
Yeah. No, I'm okay with that statement. I'm just saying it just feels.
It feels rushed. It feels rushed. And I just want to let everyone know we're at 9 likes, folks. We're 1 away from double-digit likes. Hit that thumbs up button. I see you out there. You're lurking.
If you give us that like, 1,000 seals will not die and say next.
No.
Oh man.
It could be true. Who knows?
Oh man.
And because we want to get to double digit likes, because then we talk to Momo, and we love talking to Momo here. And again, look at all of our channels down below in the description. All our links are there.
I say you better subscribe or we'll bash in some skulls, right?
So for the men, we have 3-on-3. Okay, fine. As of right now. For the women, that this is all coming together at the end segment of Raw. We had the Kabuki Warriors versus Charlotte and Alexa for the women's tag titles. The Kabuki Warriors win. There was interference from Nia Jax and NXT official call-up to the main roster, Lash Legend. So that's a step in the right direction. I'm not the biggest Lash Legend fan, but a new face on the show is going to help. So you got that. The Kabuki Warriors win. Lash and Nia come out and they start beating on Alexa and Charlotte. The Kabuki Warriors come back in the ring. It's a 4-on-2 beatdown. Cue Io's music. Io comes out. Then Rhea comes out. The baby faces stand tall at the end. Rhea grabs a mic and just says, "War Games." So right now we got 4-on-4. If we're going 5-on-5, I think you could make a case for maybe perhaps Becky Lynch to join the heels, because we do have a women's intercontinental title match, which again, one women's mid-card title is doing well, one is not, against Maxine Dupree. And again, Maxine Dupree, me rooting for Maxine Dupree, which is, it's not out of the realm. It is possible that Maxine walks out of Madison Square Garden, the women's intercontinental champion, because she's been talking to a friend that's not Natty, because she would say Natty. So who could this friend be? Obviously someone who's got some beef with Becky Lynch. We could get a return, again, coming back to work, of AJ Lee. So now you got your AJ, the Becky, and then the four. So there's your 5-on-5 for Warrior Games. I don't hate it. I just think if this is the match, Nia Jax needs to go last, not open the match where she's in that fucking double cage for 45 minutes. Dear God in heaven. And also for the men's Warrior Games match, Jey Uso is going to need to go like fourth, because he's going to have to because he's going to have to rest, because with all the yeeting, he's going to be tired.
I don't think WWE has enough women who could do a War Games match.
I mean,
Rhea could do it. I know. So
Io
Asuka could certainly do it. She did hardcore matches. She's famous for it.
Right.
You know?
Io, I mean, although the Joshis could. All the Joshis can.
Yeah, it's part of Japanese wrestling.
Yeah.
And Mexican wrestling too, you know?
Right.
But I don't know if the women they're putting into this match, I mean,
Alexa, Charlotte.
I'm you know my opinion on women's wrestling. It's better served when there's less of it, so the good is highlighted, because the women just aren't as entertaining as the men. It's a physiology thing, right? So I understand why we have to have a women's war game match, but this is the opportunity to give like some of those mid-card luchador women a chance, because they can actually do this match. You know what I mean?
I disagree. I disagree. I do not think that we need the women's war games match. I say you can do the men's war games match, and for the women, do a traditional Survivor Series elimination match.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with that. I'm totally on board with that. You know, I'm totally on board with that. And
if the following year there's a feud within the ladies that constitutes and warrants a war games match, the women get the war games match and the men do the elimination match. I'm fine with that too.
Yeah.
But the other thing that we got going from Monday Night Raw, the last time is now tournament to determine John Cena's final opponent. Now, the results were pretty standard. We had Rusev versus Damian Priest, Sheamus versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Obviously, Rusev and Sheamus, there's more history with them and Cena, so they went over. This Friday on Smackdown, LA Knight has a mystery opponent. Okay. I think that might be say his name and he appears.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
That'd be a good opponent to see.
Yeah. And then the worst match that's been announced so far. The Miz versus Jey Uso.
Why?
Well, okay, I'm going to defend that because.
Well, okay. I understand the Miz being in the tournament because there's history between him and Cena. I just think for match quality,
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. We all know Cena can't carry a match on his own anymore, right?
he's been doing great the last.
No, he's doing really
matches.
good, but he's not like if he had a lesser opponent, he couldn't carry them in that last match, right? He needs someone who could perform, right? You know, so whoever's going to win this tournament has to be someone who could go. You know what I mean? Because Cena can still do well, but he can't carry someone. Like,
right.
you know, so that's how I would evaluate this tournament. You know what I mean?
So,
Yeah.
and I'm going to get into here because something happened at the start of the show that I'm going to talk about that may give us an idea of who this final opponent might be. Because we also got announced next week on Raw, the returning Gunta is taking on Javon Evans. That's going to be exciting.
That's gonna be fun. I like that.
Yeah.
And then we have Solo Sikoa versus a mystery opponent.
Brock Lesnar.
No, Brock is not. Brock is not going to be in this tournament.
I
But
know,
the
I
show,
know.
but the show kicked off. Boston. It's Cena's last time there. The crowd was electric. For this entire segment here, and what he did when he talked about this tournament, he also mentioned something else, that he wants to give back. He wants to invest in the future of the company. Now, it's been well noted that John Cena has been spending a lot of time in Orlando at the Performance Center. So on Saturday night's main event, which is pretty much an exhibition, it's going to be main roster talent versus NXT talent to showcase NXT talent.
I like that.
So, and normally, because what we've known of John in the past, John's never lobbied for anything. You give him his match, okay, I do it. Cool.
Oh my God.
Hang on, Matt. So if this is the case, now, then there was a match between him and Dominic. John Cena goes over, becomes the Intercontinental Champion, becoming a Grand Slam champion. Now the question is, how long is he going to hold the IC title for? Because again, we're in Madison Square Garden next week. He's slotted to wrestle, and then after that, it's War Games and December 13th. That's it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he holds the title till December 13th, he'll have a longer title reign than Jey Uso did. Just saying.
Okay. Here's my wish.
Hey, hang on, Matt. Hang on.
Okay.
Hang on, buddy. So initially, when the IC title was not in play, I, like others, thought Gunther should be his last opponent. He had repaired Berg. He always puts on a match, and he'll make Cena look good. Now, if the IC title is in play, If he's holding it till December, I do not want Gunther to win this tournament. I do not want Gunther to be his last opponent, because if it's for the IC title, it's a step down. It's a step backwards for Gunther. And because of what Cena said about the future, the youth, the kids from NXT, and I believe I mentioned, and I believe I mentioned this last week. You could not. This is tailor made to strap a rocket to someone from NXT to come in.
Are we on the same page with this, JV? Are we on the same page?
Possibly not only win a mid-card title, but now get the permanent rub forever that you're the one who retired John Cena, and you do this for Obafemi.
Oh yeah,
which I just got word. Folks. We just hit double-digit likes. Mama, talk to us.
Whoever did that like saved 1,000 baby seals.
So if John and we'll know more next week if after Madison Square Garden, if John Cena is still holding the title, if he gets slotted into the War Games team, then we know he's going to hold the title till December 13th. And if that's the case, there's only one answer: Obafemi,
the future king of the WWE.
Yeah.
Now, of the two matches, I know Solo. Who was the other one with an unannounced opponent?
LA Knight.
I think Oba beating Solo is better for Oba's push.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
And you're right. This is square, perfectly made for Obafemi.
I mean, he checks every box. Checks every single box.
Yeah, absolutely.
Has two titles, defends both of them. Because remember, NXT is now a TV on the live TV. You know what I mean? So
Oba is no longer the NXT champion.
I think he'll get it back before he comes up.
No. Don't think so. But we've been talking about John Cena, and we talked about John Cena last week. This brings us to the staple of this show. It is the Wednesday Night Overbooked Top 5, where we take a topic, we give our 5 best takes. Our number 5 take gets 1 point. Our number 1 take gets 5 points. And at the end, Brad, who's not here because he had family stuff to deal with. Okay, family, like that's a thing. I will tabulate the points, and we will have a definitive scientific answer for this topic. And the topic is, because we're talking about John Cena, he's headed to the WWE Hall of Fame. And during the Hall of Fame show, they have folks who will induct you, give a little speech, talk about you, to induct you into the Hall of Fame. So who should be the person to induct John Cena into the WWE Hall of Fame? Now, before we go into our 5s, does anyone have any honorable mentions?
I guess since I'll characterize by saying I missed the entire Cena run, so my 5 is going to be kind of weird and kind of like based on kind of what I've seen. But I guess my honorable mention will probably be JBL, from what I've been told.
Okay,
will be an honorable mention.
My honorable mention, the one of them is Wade Barrett. If you know, you know.
Actually, I'll give you an honorable mention.
Okay, go on.
Just
Right.
because of the long association with Santino Marella.
Possible as well.
Nice.
Also, my other honorable mention is Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right, so Ego, you're number 5, sir.
All right. Number 5, I've got Randy Orton. Again, I saw their latest match, but I didn't know that, their careers were kind of seemingly parallel at a certain point.
Mhm.
Great feuds, great matches from what I'm understanding. So I've got number 5. That's kind of all that I've got for him with Randy Orton.
Okay, now Brad said me his top 5 and his number 5 is somebody, either a kid or a representative from the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Makes sense.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah, John.
Yeah.
He is the Make-A-Wish guy, so
Mhm.
he would definitely that would definitely be a very touching thing. All right, Matt, a number 5 for who should induct John Cena.
Randy Orton. And for not only the reasons Eagle said, but remember the big 4 from OVW was Cena,
Lesnar,
Orton,
Lesnar, right?
Lesnar, and Punk, right? Oh yeah.
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 I think
All of
Batista
whom
was there
almost
too.
became ECW stars, but ECW collapsed, by the way. That's a whole separate issue.
Right.
So anyway, yeah.
Okay, so my number 5, Ego, was your honorable mention. The guy who John Cena won his first world championship from, John Bradshaw Layfield. Okay, so Ego, you're number 4.
Number 4, I don't know how this would work, so that's why I have him at number 4. I have no idea how they do this with people being signed to opposing companies, but I'd have Edge at number 4.
Yeah, it is a thought.
I guess, yeah. So what people were saying was that, it was a classic heel versus face rivalry. People loved it. There is even the callback that Cena had with AJ Styles match where he did the Edge's spear. So I'd have him at number 4, if it's at all possible, politics aside, from AEW,
No.
WWE.
No. No, sir. And as far as if anyone thinks that Adam Copeland is coming to do anything for the WWE in the near future,
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
not happening. So Brad has his number 4, and his number 4 is Cody Rhodes.
Nice.
Okay.
I do.
Current face from one face of the company, passing off to the former face of the company. Matt, you're number 4.
Ooh, Ric Flair, baby. To be the man, you got to beat the man. And Cena did get number 17.
He
So-
did indeed.
Yeah, so that's
Nice.
I thought of that. I was like, that'll be symbolic, So
Right.
the 16-timer accepted the 17-timer into Hall of Fame. That'll be symbolic.
Okay. My number 4 is both you guys' number 5. Randall Keith Orton. Just the feud was tailor-made for all of this. Ego, you're number 3, sir.
Number 3 is someone Cena just had his last PLE against, AJ Styles. Quite a bit of history there from what everyone's shown me and seen, and banger matches. And who else would you rather have than AJ Styles, a person you've had this long wrestling connection with? So I'd have it at number 3.
Okay. Matt, you're number 3.
This is a name not a lot of people will know. He was a consultant for WWE and ran Ultimate Pro Wrestling. His name is Rick Bassman. He is the guy who recruited John Cena into pro wrestling. Cena was trained to be a bodybuilder,
Right.
and they sent him to Ultimate Pro Wrestling. And Bassman is the guy who got him in.
All right. And Brad's number 3, Randall Keith Orton.
Nice.
All right. My number 3 is someone who's also had a long history with John Cena. This person main evented WrestleMania. We know this because he says it every fucking time. As annoying as he is, he's still an eventual Hall of Famer and a key point in the history of John Cena, and that is The Miz. Which that was a terrible WrestleMania, but either way, 29. All right, Ego, you're number 2.
My number 2 is going to be one person who said he's always looked up to Cena and considered him his childhood hero. That is Ronnie Aaron Killings. I think it would bring the whole thing full circle, but I think that it would show the depth that R-Truth actually has, and I think we're going to get some surprising anecdotes and stories with Cena that will be truly heartfelt from R-Truth.
All righty. Matt, you're number 2.
Only one man could put John Cena's career to rest in peace, and that is the Undertaker. And he had a very early association with Cena when Cena came up. He'd worked with him, helped him get over. So, Yeah.
All right. Brad's number 2. Also, Ego. He was thinking along your lines with your number 4. Adam Copeland, Edge. But it's not happening.
Yeah.
My number 2. In John Cena, the feud between these guys inspired something again that changed wrestling. It was in Las Vegas. It was in this town. A casino roulette show. Raw roulette. John Cena had a tables match against R-Truth. John Cena lost that match. Got put through a table. And what came after that was someone in the Stone Cold Steve Austin shirt sitting crisscross applesauce on the ramp with a microphone in hand and laid in the pipe bomb. It's CM Punk. And the feud that... Hey, thank you, Brad. Brad, just for that, sir.
Damn, I was winning. Okay.
So, CM Punk, and then the match they had, what was it? Elimination Chamber. No, it was the Rumble in Chicago. Title match against Cena. Punk title blows the kiss. So many iconic moments between Cena and Punk. So Punk's my number 2. All right, Ego, you're number 1.
Number 1 is going to be the one you just had, CM Punk. Just perfect foil for Cena for the time. I watched the pipe bomb. I didn't watch it live like you guys, but even rewatching it, I can only imagine just how astonishing that was to see it live. To have Cena try to have his pipe bomb moment as well. They were just such great foils. And there's no one that I'd rather have induct me into the Hall of Fame that's fantastic on the mic in general than CM Punk. So I've got him number 1.
All right. Brad had his number 1 was one of my honorable mentions, and that is Kurt Angle. All right, Matt, you're number 1.
There's only one name that could be here for this. It's probably never going to happen, but Vince McMahon. He's the guy. He basically brought Cena in, created most of his career, called most of the put most of the matches on, most of the storylines. So that's why I have Vince.
Okay. My number 1 is also a McMahon, but it's not Vince. It's the one who saved John Cena's career. John Cena was on the verge of getting fired. But they're on a bus. John is shooting the shit with the guys in the back, and he's doing a freestyle rap. And Stephanie McMahon hears this and comes up with the idea for the Doctor of Thugonomics, So Stephanie McMahon would be a perfect person to induct John Cena into the Hall of Fame. If it was not for Stephanie, we would not have John Cena. So, with that,
it's true.
It's true. It's damn true. So with that, we have a clear 3, 2, and a 1. At number 3, surprisingly, some of you guys think that Edge should be the one. Still not happening. Number 2 is Randall Keith Orton. I am not opposed to that at all. And number 1, best in the world, in that ring, on commentary, on the mic, CM Punk. All right, so that is our top 5. Thank you, everyone who has been. We have had a good show going tonight. A good, nice, consistent group in the chat. And again, we hit double-digit likes. That's our goal for every show. And one more time, guys. One more time, just for you, because you guys have rocked this. Mama! So there we go. So, Mr. LeftEyeEgo, as we are heading out, what do you have coming up, sir?
You know what? I will actually be having my next guest for Left Eye at Night. It's going to be this Monday at 6 p.m. Central. Check out the thumbnail for that on Friday. The guest will be revealed on that day.
A mystery guest. Wow. And the Jersey butcher, baconator, loving person, Matt. What do you have?
I'm in love.
What do you have coming up, sir?
Well, we'll be on Roman's show tomorrow. We'll talk about Leading Man. Here next week on Wednesday Night Overbooked. That's pretty much what I got going on right now.
Okay. And again, folks, look in the chat. Matt has got some medical issues going on right now. Costs keep going up. If you can help in any way, shape, or form, the GoFundMe link is in the chat. If you can, every little bit helps. And as Matt said, I will be on with Roman of the Empire tomorrow, talking about great leading men throughout the history of film and TV. But I want to thank everyone who has stopped by. And until next week, folks, I would like to say, keep talking, keep smiling, keep having fun, and as always, and take care.
And here we go.
Is like gravity. All it takes is a little push.